Hello. If you've seen my previous video, you know I moved. And I think I'm organized enough now. So I thought I'd kill 2 orcs with 1 stone and do an apartment tour and the long-awaited collection tour. So without further ado, let's go! Welcome to my san, simple adult nerd home. I don't have many decorations except figures. That there is where I work and make my cosplays, the productive corner. Right next to the front door is my Psylocke poster from Demon Days by Peach Momoko. Then to the right of the door is the tarot cards from Dragon Age Inquisition that I pieced together to make this cool poster. This was my first non-JRPG and it blew my little mind. On this little window that barely opens is my Witchy Molong and Sleepy Molong. There's also this Sakura Miku android a friend gave me when they went to Japan. They got it because they wanted one of her faceplates, then gave me the rest of the figure. Next we enter the kitchen where I cry over burnt eggs. Next to my rice cooker are my cooking buddies, Sakuna, Cabbage Corgi, and Shiitake Ferret. They keep me company and make sure no one steals my secret recipes, if I had any. This is my pride window. I have never been able to keep plants alive, but look at them, thriving. I am so proud. Next to my green onion farm are more molongs. And a ceramic bird I make festive hats for. Right now it's a witch. With a Chobani cup full of propagated succulents and more little figures that my friends got me. Sidestepping out of the kitchen and into the living room is my adult workstation, where I do very serious adult things. On top of my desk is the 2014 Racing Thailand Miku. I like the gradient in her hair and that she's sitting sassy, like she's a CEO judging me, and oh my god, there's so much dust, don't look at that. So she keeps me motivated with her smug look. On the other side of the dusty island are Homura and Madoka laying down, looking beautiful and squashed like pressed flowers. I'm planning on putting them in a shadow box to hang them up. Up on the first shelf are some of my nendroids. There's Kino and Hermes, Toga and Jinx, my 2 unhinged girls, and Zagreus and Thanatos, my baby boys. I told myself and you guys that I won't get any more nendroids, but that promise has gone out the window. I'm gonna accept my fate and get my chibi babies. Hopping on to the second shelf, this is my Ghibli / woodland creature mythical fantasy shelf. It's mostly Princess Mononoke goods with a few Pop Mart figures. The third shelf is my magical girl shelf with some other blind box babies. Sailor Moon is looking ethereal and beautiful, overlooking her fellow magical girls. I still haven't been lucky enough to get a mini mommy to complete my Madoka minis, but one day. I've had this photo of Sakura since I was in elementary school, and this Hanbok Sailor Moon, I got it from Busan Comic World a few years ago, and I can't remember the artist. Next to the shelves is this Witchy Academia poster a friend bought me for Christmas many years ago. I think it's really cute, and I'm thinking of adding like plants, skulls, spiders, I don't know, something around it. Descending to the entertainment section are my Zootopia figurines, and some sleepy Pokemons I got from a gacha in Korea that I forced my friends to play so I could have all of them. And my favorite Shih Tzu, Isabel. She's always working hard. Always. Underneath the coffee table, I keep my plushie prisoners. I've lugged them around for so many years and I feel like I haven't been giving them the love and respect they deserve. But whatever. And then there are these 2 on the couch. The lucky ones. Next, let's go to this shelf. No, this shelf. At the tippy top of the shelf is the 2014 Racing Miku, and this Miku is probably one of my favorite Racing Miku designs. I really love the sculpt and movement in this Miku. Then below is the lovely Jataka of the Deer King that I think I did an unboxing for recently. Then this very cool, very painful figure, because it was a pain to move, of Toga Himiko. I've never played Demon Blade, but I love this Momohime by Alter. I think she was my 6th or 7th figure I ever bought. I just love the paint job of this figure. Below the Pink Samurai is the Halloween-tastic Miku. This figure of Hyakimaru was my first male figure I ever bought. I saw this figure and I knew it was time to expand my universe. He's so beautifully crafted and well painted, I look at him at least once a day. Last on the shelf are my favorite sad magical girls my friend gifted me. She told me to make sure they're always holding hands, but I think they need a break from each other. On top of the heater that will never be used is the Madogatari Homura figure. A skip away from the shelf and the heater hangs a transistor poster. A cool poster for a cool game, and it makes me regret not getting the Hades poster. Coming back to the big whale of a shelf that's in most of my videos and houses most of my figures, we start from the top left corner with 2B and 9S. The bases aren't dazzling, but both of these figures are top-notch in sculpting and painting. Their skin is also very soft, smooth like wet seaweed. I couldn't fit their pods in here because they're too tall, but A2 will definitely squeeze in here with them whenever she comes. I've been trying to collect all the girls from this line for years, and I recently got the Madoka, so all I have left is Sayaka, which doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime soon because she costs as much as a baby capybara. But nonetheless, I love this line. All the girls are sculpted so well and balances amazingly in their gravity-defying poses. This fiery, spicy duo from Fat Company took me years to complete as well. As in, I bought Sasuke on release but didn't buy Ryuko for years and then weeped at my lack of judgment. I love both their confident poses, but Ryuko is hunched a little low, so she has to be placed at a higher angle or else you're gonna have to be looking at her from the floor. On the opposite corner from the white-haired androids is my white-haired Odin Sphere couple. Gwendolyn looks so elegant in her dress, and Oswald looks edgy and in love. Straight down the tic-tac-toe line, we got Misato and Pen Pen with long-haired Rei. And I'm so sorry, I just realized how shaky I am. I feel like I'm a jello during an earthquake, so I apologize for all the shaky. Then, the two middle shelves are my A through Z ladies, all 4 are by Mythos. First we have C and D, Clergy and Dragoon. D in the back is my personal favorite. Her billowing jacket with the hood and spear just hit different for me. Next door is B and S, Blade and Strisha. I love this series and they've all been so beautiful so far. I love my techwear ladies with pointy sticks. But truth be told, I'm shaking in my boots from the fear that there are actually going to be 26 figures. These two Mikus is what unlocked the demon within me all those years ago when my obsession with Asian Mikus was released into the wild to run naked and rabid. The Miku in the beautiful kimono is by Stronger and the Harvest Moon Miku is by Good Smile Company. Both are still top tier Mikus. I wanted at least one set of the Evangelion girls and this Kotobukiya line was what I chose. It has the girls and their Eva units, but I wish they weren't so spinally arched. This cube houses one of my favorite figures, the Kotobukiya Grand Blue Fantasy Charlotte. She is just so cute and fierce. This figure is beautiful, and I love the drama. I also give it bonus points because she's standing on a crate. It's just so cute. Behind her is another Kotobukiya figure from Grand Blue, Danwa with her 2 spooky cool puppets. She's a good contrast to Charlotte with her darker colors and spookiness. I have never played Grand Blue, but I love these 2 figures. This is my baby Janet's shelf. The Gwendolyn was the second figure I ever bought after debating with myself for months. I saved up so I could buy my favorite ladies from my favorite game. This Mercedes actually fell off and snapped at the peg that holds her up, and I cried gluing her back together, but she's been holding strong for years. I remember as a kid I was so nervous about buying figures, but look at me now, bold and brash. I didn't play Persona Arena, but as a fan of Persona, these Quest-Q figures of Yuna 24 and Labris look so good. I love that they match and that they look so sleek with their massive weapons. But the weapons are heavy, so they do need to be balanced, on the ground, on the shelf. I wish they had made ones like this for Aigis and Metis, my two favorite android girls. Stretching at the bottom are my DC and Marvel girls, Psylocke and Katana. I really like the pose and translucent hair bits on her. She's giving badass eggplant energy. She was also my first Kotobukiya Bishoujo, which once again began my dark descent. And with Katana, I love her calm, serene expression with the "come at me, try me" pose. This is my very small Tails shelf. I played almost all the Tails series, but somehow only have 2.5 figures. In the front is Rinwell from Arise, and in the back is Mila from Exilia. This was my very first figure, the figure that opened the floodgates. So she holds a special place in my heart. I even have a little mini Mila. Next door is Cosmos from the game Xenosaga. I love the Xenosaga series, even though I was terrible at the game. I especially love the look of Cosmos, so I had to have at least one figure of her. So I saved up. She looks good from all angles, even though she is a little forward heavy and leans off her base a little bit. Behind her is UMP9 from Girls Frontline. She's so cute and I like this playful pose. I think her beehive shaped base goes well with Cosmos, so they are beehive buddies. They're the bee's knees. Last in the cubicle is Rei from Star Wars by Kotobukiya. I actually liked Rei from the first movie, and when I saw this figure of her standing like a sandy magical girl, I wanted it. Next to her is Senjo Gahara, another figure that's been with me through the battles of life. I was too poor to buy the fancy one, the School Supply Madness figure, so I bought this one. Oh, and over here in the island cubicle is the Cowboy Bebop duo. Setting them up still confuses me, but I love the action pose and that their bases fit together. Rising up like a giant squid from the ocean, on top of this unit is where I keep my pop-up ladies. Edelgard and more Asuka and Rei. They greet you when you walk in through the front door. And that is everything in the kitchen living room area. And as you walk down this long hallway, you can see butts. Walking away from the blurry butts, we walk down the hallway into the first room. This is officially the gaming slash figure slash guest room. It's a lot of things. It's anything I need it to be. Over here is a very large and heavy poster of Cyberpunk 2077, artwork by Phantom City Creative. I wanted the variant version, but I wasn't quick enough, but at least I got this one. Next to it is my very old and crusty dress form, Janice. And did y'all see the brand new D-Top shelf? Oh. And on top of the shelf sits Demon Rem looking down on everyone who walks by. She is large and in charge and demands attention. I love the colors and how unhinged her expression is in this figure. But this was also a figure that didn't come with instructions, so I was sweating and crying putting her together. This is my first D-Top shelf and I'm so happy. I'm so proud of it. And this is my I Love Bloodborne shelf. There's the doll and the hunter, and I actually have another hunter figure, but I couldn't squeeze them in here. I have the Bloodborne soundtrack vinyl back there, and also the doll Nendroid. I love these figures. They're also well sculpted and the details on them are amazing. The hunter has so many grimy, dirty shading on him and I love it. Both of the statues are by Gecko, and I actually got the doll for like half the price because I use all of my hoarded points. She will never be open, so she looks cute in her cardboard prison. This is the major Kusanagi shrine. I'm very happy with my collection of her because they're all of her in her various outfits and they're all in different poses. My personal favorite though, I would have to say, is her in her original outfit, the one in the back. Not just because she looks sleek and sexy, but because nostalgia, the original. But I also do like her new design by Kuvishnovilya. And if you've seen my unboxing of this one right here, you know that she didn't light up, and she still doesn't light up. Here is my fiery Fire Emblem Lady shelf. Of course, front and center is my waifu for laifu, Tharja, with Lyn and Byleth in the back. I was really lucky to have pre-ordered Tharja when she went up, so I didn't have to fight the army of hell to get her. I also really love Byleth and Lyn's figure. They're both in such action poses, and I especially love the sculpt of Byleth's face. It's so beautiful and serious. And Lyn looks like a green ray of sunshine, a UFO beam. All three of them give off different vibes, and I love how they all look together. Appropriately, at the bottom are my League of Legends girls. Of course, they're together because they're BFFs. These two figures have amazing bases, and the Jinx one still lights up, unlike my Motoko one 2 levels up. I especially love the Jinx one because of the drama. Her slightly sparkly purple-blue hair, the details in her clothes, her wacky Joker face, and looking at them, it reminds me I haven't played League in a really long time. Closing my beautiful Detolf shelf. Now next to it is the bookcase? Figure case? It has all my big magical girls, manga, and various books. I've donated a lot of manga and books and still wondering if I need to purge more. Starting from the right, we have the Hello World Sakura figure by Good Smile. What I love the most about Sakura figures is her vibrant smile. It's the smile that I remember from my childhood. I also love her outfit. It's so airy and feathery, it goes perfectly with the flight card. She is a very heavy and somewhat unstable figure, so during my last move when I had to disassemble her, the peg that goes into the base broke, but thankfully I was able to fix it. Next to her are two of my favorite figures in my collection, Gadoka and Homucifer from the Rebellion movie. Both are from Aniplex. I love these figures. I love how their faces look, the drama in their hair and clothing, and the contrast in their wings. You know me, I live for that little bit of translucent goodness on Madoka's wings. I also like that they have complementary poses and can be put side by side, back to back, front to back, whatever your magical heart desires. Also, anyone else really excited that we're finally getting a sequel to Rebellion after 10 years? I am me. Last on this glorious top side is the Stars Bless You Sakura figure. This is like a trophy. I actually got her as a gift from my family when I couldn't even think about buying fancy figures, so she's definitely one of my faves. The base on this figure is out of this world. And like all Sakuras, her outfit is on point. I especially love her very detailed crown and of course, her translucent, floaty pieces of clothing. Unfortunately, a few years ago during another move, I lost the crescent moon that snaps onto the base, so even now when I look at her, I cry. Coming down the mountain, this is my Butterfly Demon Slayer shelf. In the front we have the Canal figure by Mega House that honestly was a little disappointing to me. Behind her is Shinobu from Kotobukiya, and I really like her. I think her face is pretty and her Haori flare is just the right amount. In the back is another Canal by Fat Company. I like this one better. There's more joy in her eyes and she has a cooler base and comes with a butterfly and her crow. Here we have KDA Ari by Apex. She is a heavy figure because of her beautiful tails. She is sculpted wonderfully, and I think her face is the most well done out of the League girls. And of course, the crystal tails are serving for days. This is my pink magical main character girl shelf. In the front is the classic Sakura from my childhood by Kotobukiya. When I asked my mom and dad to pick a favorite from my collection, they both chose her. She looks so happy and flouncy, riding the fly card. The details on her clothes and hair are amazing on this figure, and of course Kiro looks so cute flying right next to her. Behind her is Madoka by Furyu. Just like the Sakura, Madoka looks so cute and happy in her beautiful kimono, and when I did my unboxing of her, I said her obi looks like crispy bacon, and it still does. I couldn't fit all the JJK figures into one area, so Maki is stuck with the adults. Maki is another recent addition to my collection, and I adore her. Her action pose is confident and in your face. And behind her are Danami and Gojo. And to be honest, I wish they were in more exciting poses like the students. But but it's okay because they're beautiful. In the middle shelf is the first Mushroom Girl by Reverse Studio. She is so cute! She's the perfect fall cottagecore baby. She's keeping the shelf nice and shroomy for the other two. My big bad three right here, Itadori, Nobara, and Megumi. I like how three of them look together, and I think they're more exciting to look at than the adults. I do wish they had more expression on their faces, but I like their poses and how sea urchin-y their hair is. Having a dainty tea party are the Odin Sphere girls and Mari. These figures came with so many delicious food options, but out of fear of losing them, like my Sakura Moon, I just opted for a simple setup. Whenever I look at them, it brings me joy and a little bit of food envy. Next to them, looking giant, is Alice and Socrates from Odin Sphere by Alter. This figure is adorable, but a worry I have always is that Socrates will fall off because he isn't magnetized or anything to the couch. But what makes this figure even cuter is that on the back is Myrus and Cornelius. Look at his little booty! Behind them is my small but growing collection of Ito Junji mangas that my friends keep gifting me, with Battle Angel Alita, one volume of Flowers of Evil, the complete set of Phantom Thief John in Korean. I actually donated 95% of my manga when I moved cross-country, so my manga collection is small. And sitting on top of all of my colorful books is one of my favorite Nendroids, Sushi, from Little Witch Academia with her sushi alpaca. She's sitting on top of all of my books, making sure no silverfish gets past her. I hope. A quick slide to the right, and my two badass women, Kino from Kino's Journey and Tali from Mass Effect. Even though the Kino came greasy like an oiled otter, she has since recovered and looks spiffy and crispy. Next to her is Tali, who makes me regret not buying any of the other Mass Effect figures every time I look into her hollow mask. Behind them is the rest of my manga collection, Knights of Sidonia with a couple of repeats, Vagabond, Blame, and Land of the Blindfolded in Korean. None of these are complete sets except the Land of the Blindfolded. Down here is just random assortment of books, and next to the router is Tanjiro, protecting my internet with his good boyness. Here is my gaming desk, where I fail at every game you could possibly imagine. On top of my gaming desk is a Figma of Motoko doing this pose that I left her in. This very luscious figure of Rei Ayanami from Flare. She's very caked up, but I won't show that today. And next to her is the Luden model that my eyes bled over while I assembled it. To the left of my monitor are my big-headed plushies and this mini fathead Artorias figure. I really wanted the statue of him, but the aftermarket cost as much as a small island, so I opted for the fathead instead. I actually like this figure. He looks so harmless and cute with his hollow face. Here in this ominous corner, looking beautiful and calm, is the Prime 1 Lady Maria statue. She was my first Prime 1 figure, as well as my first quarter scale, as well as my first resin. She is large, heavy, and beautiful. The details and sculpt are superb. Chef's kiss. Just look at those crispy details on her clothes and sheath. I have nothing negative to say about this figure except that the feather on her hat falls off from the slightest inconvenience. Below her are more Bloodborne things. This is a Bloodborne house. Welcome to the Salt and Blood. Here are the Figmas of Lady Maria and the Hunter, which will probably never be opened because I don't want to set them up. You saw what's happening with Motoko and you know. And then there are 2 art books and the Bloodborne comics. If we turn this way, it's my neglected corner. I have my pouches hanging off of my lamp, and this is Bayek's shield from Assassin's Creed Origins that I made a while ago. I'm debating if I want to hang it up or hide it away. I'm also not sure where I want to put these Elden Ring things quite yet. To be honest, I haven't even opened the collector's edition box. But like everything else in this house, it's a work in progress. I'll figure it out. On the wall are some more props I made, Dragon Age Inquisition sword with Raya and the Last Dragon sword, and the Inquisition shield, which I also don't know what to do with. This is my bedroom where I sleep with a 6-foot-long weighted body pillow that crushes the demons out of me. On my nightstand is Nanachi from Made in Abyss. She looks so cute. I love this figure. And this is an Animal Crossing figure I made a while ago. Wisp glows in the dark, so he stares at me every night through the darkness, but Nanachi protects me. On top of my dresser is the Traveler from my favorite game, Journey. Next to the Fluff Boy alpaca, I sometimes like to jiggle his butt because it's so fluffy. Corky wearing my headband. And my army of mini demon slayers. I put them on here for now until I figure out a better home for them, where they don't look like a colorful army of jelly beans. Next to my colorful army of jelly beans is the Hanbok bears my mom bought me, and these mini Sailor Moon girls that I got from a gacha. And gacha, more Bloodborne in my closet. This is where I keep some figures I haven't made space for yet, like the other Bloodborne Hunter figure, and the extra Bloodborne Hunter weapons I bought separately to make them look even cooler. I also have this other side vinyl because it was a cool game and this art looks sick. And here is Prime 1 Eileen crying on the floor right here because I just haven't found a room space for her. This is the end of my tour, so here's a glimpse into my closet of shame because we all have one.
Shame! 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 Shame!
And thanks for stopping by to tour my house and letting me show off my collection to you guys. I hope you guys had a fun time. And I actually have some unopened figures in my closet of shame that I'll get to eventually. But thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.